traders, how's it going? Nick from Vant Trading here, coming at you with another updated trading platform review. Today we're going to be covering a trading platform that's been requested a little more frequently, and there's a lot of people out there wondering about this infamous Robinhood Trading. There was a lot of controversy circling them surrounding Gamestop and that whole debacle. There have been a lot of traders that have gone to them in the recent year, months, pretty much since the pandemic. It's really gained in popularity as a lot of people have put stimulus money into it. Ever since the rise of kind of WallstreetBets, a lot of retail traders and day traders are coming out to Robinhood because of its ease of access and because of a lot of kind of cost advantage features that they do have to their advantage. I'll be honest, when I started looking into this trading platform for the review, I knew about it, but I didn't know any details about it. I'd never actually seen the platform itself. And I'll be honest, there were some surprising things about Robinhood that I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I can see the appeal for a lot of traders, but there were also some things that really made me scratch my head and really concerned me about this trading platform. I'll be covering all of those. My goal here is to remain as objective as possible, but I'll be giving you some subjective opinions based on my comparisons and my experience in the industry for over 10 years now. So I'll be going at this from mainly a day trading perspective, but I will be giving some insights in terms of their swing trading capacity, investing on them, what they're good at, what they're not good at. I'll be grading this from an A to F scale, but that's really just going to be for a point of comparison, and it's not really going to be a hard like, oh no, this is a A versus a B or something like that. So keep that in mind. I'm going to try to keep this as objective as possible. I want you walking away from this video feeling that you have a good grasp on whether this platform is for you, whether you should look into it a little more, or whether you should be looking elsewhere. I feel like this platform is really good for some and definitely not good for others. It is a super basic platform. They do some things a lot better than others, and they do some things very well. I can see the appeal to some traders, but there are going to be some serious limitations in this trading platform. So let's dive on into it. I'm just going to be going through this trading platform as I always do. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want me to cover anything else, any other trading platforms, drop it in the comment section below. If this video helped at all, be sure to like it. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube for future video updates. Now, as always, we're going to start this off with the trading fees. I want people to come in here and know, well, how much does this platform cost? Especially if you're a new trader, trading fees are very vital because it can essentially help you prolong your staying power in the market while you learn what you're doing. Some platforms are very expensive compared to others. Others, like Robinhood, are actually really, really cheap. I'm not going to go through their trading fees page because it's actually very basic and rudimentary. They don't have a nice little table and graph that show you the different fees and stuff like a lot of other platforms do. But that's because a lot of it's free. It's really, 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 really cheap. And that's the appeal for a lot of traders out there. I apologize, that was the closing bell there. But it's really, really, really cheap. In fact, they are completely commission free. That's kind of their pillar that they built themselves on. It's definitely kind of the appeal to a lot of the stimulus traders and people putting small amounts in there that don't want to, that kind of want to penny pinch a little bit with their accounts. And so that's definitely a benefit to them. There is no fees to open the account. There's no fees to maintain the account. There's no fees to transfer funds into the account. Now, there are some fees that you'll incur if you want something fancy like an overnight check delivery or something like that. That's fair. That's only reasonable. They shouldn't have to eat all of those costs. But to simply have your money in the account, put it in there, maintain it, and trade is very, 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 very cheap. There are some small fees in certain transactions. So, for example, FINRA, which is one of the largest kind of electronic governing bodies within the market, doing financial transactions through them will incur you costs when you trade. This is legal. It's just part of how it is. It's how the game is. Now, they don't pass this small fee on to small customers who have like under $500, I think, in their trading account. So that's actually very nice of them to eat that cost. But even though it's going to be passed to you, it's very, very small. It is going to be $0.000119 per share, or $0.002 per contract. And it's not going to exceed more than $5.95 an execution, and that's if you're trading serious size here. Now, if you do trade an ADR, which is a foreign stock that also has a stock that trades on our exchanges, you may have smaller fees as well, but I mean, compared to other platforms out there, this is cheap. This is a cheap platform. I mean, the fact that there's none of this maintenance fee or data fees, things like that, it is very, very affordable for almost any trader and investor. So this is somewhere that they excel. They do have something that's interesting. It's called Robinhood Gold. It's $5 a month. month. And this is how you get margin, level 2 data, and some professional research from Morningstar. And Morningstar is a research firm that they're independent of Robinhood, and they put out reports on stocks prior to earnings and any kind of big event going into a stock. So it's interesting that it's a monthly fee, but it's only $5, so it's actually kind of nice and definitely still cheaper for a lot of these features. But it's the only way that you can get margin that I've seen, so that's pretty unique. But overall, this is definitely where Robinhood is the most appealing to traders. This is why they kind of drew in a lot of new retail traders, because some of the other platforms can be expensive, or they have these sign-up fees or other fees in there, and it probably scared away traders that weren't quite sure how they were going to perform and didn't want them, already starting in a negative or a deficit. So we give Robinhood Trading here an A. It's just one of the best out there in terms of fees. It's definitely one of the main appeals to them, one of the main draws. Now I want to talk about something else, and that's account types and minimums, because this is something else that's really important. Before we get into the platform itself, you need to know, well, what kind of account can I open? Is there a minimum I have to deposit into this account? What's going on out there, because some people don't have that much money. This is somewhere that they do pretty well, at least in terms of the trading minimum. Absolutely no minimum. This trading platform is kind of designed for low account size traders. Yes, they definitely welcome the pattern day traders with over 25,000, and they welcome as much money as you can put in there, but there's no minimum whatsoever. But there's a caveat to this. They don't allow trading in certain OTCs, preferred stocks, mutual funds, bonds, fixed income, closed-end funds, units, a lot of that fancier stuff. So if you're like an investor or you want to try to slowly accumulate preferred shares or something like that, not the platform for you. Don't touch it. They don't even allow you to trade a lot of that stuff. So just make sure that that's not something that's going to be a deal breaker for you. One thing that was actually very interesting to me is they allow commission-free trading in a lot of cryptocurrencies. 7 cryptocurrencies in a lot of the states, and they're trying to expand that scope. That's pretty impressive. That's not something that a lot of platforms hang their hat on. And for a low barrier to entry, it's very appealing to a lot of people, especially with how hot Bitcoin and Ethereum and a lot of these cryptos have been lately. Now, in terms of accounts that you can open, it's pretty much just the basic account. That's it. You open the cash account, you can pay that $5 a month fee to have access to margin, and that's it. That's really it. While all of the other platforms are clearly more professional, Interactive Brokers and all those guys, they have IRA accounts, joint accounts, all of these other different accounts that you can open depending on what kind of investor or trader you are. This is just the simple. You're going to open the account. You're going to get the same thing as everyone else. You're going to get the same access as everyone else, and you're going to pay the same thing as everyone else. You can pay the $5 a month for margin. That's good and bad, I suppose. For the average day trader, that's not going to make that much of an impact. Now, their margin is very cheap. It's stupid cheap. Now, if that's something that really is going to be a deal breaker for you and make or break, a lot of people don't look at those margin calls because it doesn't really play that hard into effect. But 2.5% flat interest, that's like a third of what most platforms charge, to my knowledge, maybe even a fourth. So that's really nice, and that's only on amounts over $1,000. So again, small account traders, those small traders, they're trying to hit you with that cheap feature, and they're trying to pull you in that way. Now, you do need to have $2,000 in your account or 100% of the security purchase price, whatever is cheaper there for the margin, and they only give you 2-to-1 leverage that I've seen. I don't see any bonus to 4-to-1 overnight margin. That's a big kind of, not deal breaker, but a big negative that a lot of platforms will offer you. They offer you that 4-to-1 intraday and then 2-to-1 overnight. But all I've seen on this one is 2-to-1 straight up. So you put $1,000 in, you can get $2,000 of purchasing power, essentially. So it's got pluses and minuses there. Again, really cheap, really easy to get access to, $5 a month for margin, and it's 2-to-1. But, there is a caveat there. One thing I do want to mention, and it's kind of just a fun thing they do, and this is, again, an appeal for small-time traders and those average retail traders. You invite a friend and you get a stock. You get a free share of something. And I don't know where they pull that stock from or what the rewards could look like. You get up to $500 in stock rewards every year. Hey, that's a fun way to make you feel like you're getting stocks for free. You sign your buddy up or something like that. So clever on their part. But overall, look, I got to take this from a neutral perspective, and compared to a lot of other platforms, the margin's cheap, but they don't offer much. So if you're someone out there that's looking and measuring this based on the account types and minimums, and this is a little harsh of me, I'm looking back now a C. Honestly, they could probably be a B or a B minus. They do offer no minimums. They're definitely appealing to the low time trader, but there's just no variability in what you can do in terms of accounts. That's really kind of the kicker here. And in terms of margin, they don't give you as much. Now let's start going into some of the actual platform, shall we? And we're going to start, as always, with charting. How does their charting work? Because look, a lot of platforms out there, you either usually get really good charts or you get really good executions and bells and whistles. You rarely get both. So, how do they do in charting? Because a lot of people watching this are probably going to be technical analysis traders who are going to watch the charts. Okay, first thing is I'm going to preface this with I did not know that Robinhood did not have a trading PC application. They do not have a downloadable app that you open like Thinkorswim or IB or eTrade, pretty much any other platform. It is entirely web-based. It used to not even have a web browser-based trader. You had to do it on your phone app. That fascinated me at first, but you know what? I said, screw it. Let's look at it anyway. And I pulled up the platform. So what I did was I opened we opened a small account. We messed with it a little bit, made like a trade or two just to see how it worked. And now, we've got like 2 pennies in the account, and I'm just using it for demonstrating reasons and to keep the account open in case I want it. So here is what the platform looks like. This is it. Welcome to Robinhood. It's good and bad. So this is what the Robinhood platform looks like. It is open right now on Google Chrome. So like I said, it is a web-based trader. The charts themselves are fine. You pull up a stock, say like SPY or Tesla or Apple, whatever. And so I've got the SPY up here, and then you can expand the chart, which is nice. So I can expand the chart here, get a little bit of a better view. I can go line or candlestick. That's it. I can have volume or not have volume. That's it. It's honestly, the charts are about as basic as it gets. If you were going to trade on here, if you're going to day trade, I would highly recommend that you use another trading platform for the charts, maybe something like Thinkorswim, or hell, even just use another web-based free charting system like TradingView. Anything other than this if you're going to be remotely technical based. And I only say that because this is what you can add: a moving average, an exponential moving average, RSI or MACD. That is it. And yes, I can have multiple moving averages, and I can change some of the time frame on there, but that is it. Also, your time frames. I can look at the daily time frame, which with each bar doing 5 minutes, a weekly with each bar being 10 minutes, monthly, each bar is going to be an hour, 3 month, a year, or 5 year. That's it. I can't customize this. I can't change anything about this. I couldn't even find a way to put this into, say, dark mode or change how the chart looks. I can't zoom in and out. I can't move it around. I don't even think I can draw on this chart. So it's actually pretty bad. Now, that's not going to matter for some people. Some people don't want to have to manipulate this chart. They don't really chart. Maybe you're a swing trader or something. You just need to see this. You just need to see your P&L or see if it's up or down. Hey, I'm not going to tell you how to trade. But, if this is about as rudimentary as I've seen a trading platform's charts out there. And you can't argue that it's because it's a web-based trader, because there are web-based trading platform, or not even trading platforms, but web-based charting platforms that are very, very good, like TradingView. So it is just as bare bones as it gets. Maybe I missed something here and I couldn't find it, but that is all I saw, folks. And so that's why we gave their charting a D. It's just there is no charting, essentially. And that, hey, again, if this is not a deal breaker for you, that's fine. But I got to report this as objectively as I can and kind of give you a comparison here. So let's see how we're doing. Just a little refresher here. Very good on trading fees. Honestly, they're better on account types and minimums than a C. I'd probably give them a B, but it's still, it's pretty good. They're appealing to the small-time trader, the new trader, small account, someone who wants that cheap thing. Terrible charting. Very basic and rudimentary. I still feel like I missed something on here. I spent so much time looking, but that's it. Next up, let's look at hotkeys. Some people don't care about hotkeys. I will preface that. I understand. And some people, it's not important to them. But as a day trader, if speed is your king and you want to be in and out, you want to scalp, hotkeys are kind of vital for you. It's web-based. There's no platform, so there's no hotkeys. That's the thing. You can't change or customize your order much in almost any way whatsoever. In fact, your trading is essentially just buying. You can't short. You could buy puts or trade within options, but this is it. It's buy. Do you want to buy in dollars or shares? Put in your amount, and that's it. You can't customize the routing. You can't customize how much is hidden or how much of the order is visible. You can't do anything. You can't say if you want it to be... you might be able to somewhere in here say good to cancel or immediate or cancel, but it's very, very rudimentary, and because it's also web-based, there is no hotkeys. There's just none. So you can't really customize. Speed is not going to be your friend here necessarily. It's not going to inhibit you that much since the order entries is so easy and rudimentary. But hotkeys get a D, man. There's just nothing there. The phone app is, again, easy to buy and sell. So is there a need for hotkeys if this is the platform you want? Not necessarily, but something to keep in mind. Locating shares. So if you are trading, say, a low float stock, or you want to short a stock that is hard to borrow or something like that, you need to borrow shares. Well, this is going to be a pretty heavy point of contention with Robinhood. When GameStop was going up and was spiking and going crazy, Robinhood stopped allowing the buying of GameStop shares. It's not that they didn't let you short it. That's something else entirely. They stopped their traders from being able to buy the shares. That's a whole thing. We have a video on that if you want to learn more about the GameStop debacle. I talk about that, and I talk about how manipulative that feels, and there's been countless Senate hearings on it. But that blows my mind. And again, you cannot short on Robinhood. You cannot short a stock. You can go into the options. You can buy a put. Hell, you can sell a naked call. That is infinite risk. That's just like shorting. Robinhood doesn't care? I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of regulatory thing in here that I didn't realize, but you cannot short a stock, so there's no need to locate shares. So naturally, you get a D because you can't do it. You can't short, so there's no point in anything else there. Simulated trading. This is paper money accounts. Look, this isn't something that's going to make or break a platform, but it's always nice if you can have a paper money account and mess around with it in practice. They don't have one. I do this when they don't have one. They get an F. Other platforms out there that are great at other things that don't have it, they get an F too. Just because they don't have it, they don't give you that option. To be fair, it's free to open the account and maintain the account, so do you even need a paper money account? But some people want to trade with paper money in practice, so they get an F. It's whatever. We can move on from this one because it's not that important. But, in terms of some of the day trading things we're seeing here, and this is, again, very day trading centric. It's very in and out, speed-based, customization-based. They aren't that stellar, but, that's not what they're trying to be. That's not what they're trying to appeal to. So let's talk about something that you would imagine they probably are good, which is mobile and web-based trading. And that is, their app, their mobile app, or the web-based browser. I mean, they're obviously really good at that because that's what they are. That's where they live. You have to trade on a web-based trader, or you have to trade on a mobile app. They don't have a desktop application. Maybe yet, maybe they will someday. But this is technically all they do, and so naturally it's pretty intuitive. It's easy to use. That's one of their appeals, is very ease of use and easy to enter and do things and manipulate things around. They're still missing a lot of features in here to me. It's just not that their web-based trading doesn't have that. It's just that Robinhood doesn't have that. But they're essentially just trying to make it so that anyone can use it. That's kind of their goal here, it seems like, is to make it so simple that a baby could trade. And I'm not saying you're a baby if you trade on there, but that's kind of their shtick. And so we're going to go through the platform in a moment, but I just wanted to say that, they get an A- here because it's their bread and butter and it's what they do. API custom coding. Can you get in there? Can you make your own studies? Can you customize and custom code maybe like an auto trading thing or an auto alert system or something like that? Nope. Can't do any of that. Just like paper trading, they're not trying to get that fancy. There are third-party things out there I thought I saw that integrate with it, but I don't know the reputability of any of that or the security of any of that. So, they get an F just like any others that don't have API or custom coding. There's no kind of getting in there and coding in Python and getting yourself some custom scanners and filters and things like that. I don't even know if they have scanners and filters. I couldn't find that anywhere. So nice fat F there. Executions. All right. What about this? You're going to be buying and selling. A lot of traders, the more experience you get, maybe you want to change your routing. You want to change the order type. You want to really kind of change the minutia of how you trade, because this is our executions are our life and our livelihood. Well, it's as basic as it gets. Like I said, here are their order structures. You can market, you can limit, you can put a stop loss, a stop limit, a trailing stop, and a recurring order. That's it. Yes, you can buy and trade options, but you can buy and sell a call or put. That is it. You can't do multi-spread, multi-tiered fancy options. You can't do anything like that. The recurring trade's interesting, I had mentioned. It's interesting that they allow you to do kind of a recurring trade, but that's super situational. When are you going to want something to continue to buy daily or something like that? So that seems super situational. What is nice is you can submit an order based on your share size or by dollar size. That's nice that they kind of feature that for you. But like I said, it is super rudimentary. You can't, if say I want to buy, we'll say 2 cents just to see what happens, and I want to buy, it must be for at least $1. All right, fine, $1. All right. Well, see, this is the issue that I realized that we were coming off here with. But let's dismiss. We'll go here. But anyway, regardless, it's super rudimentary. If I go one share and but we'll do a limit price at 2 cents, that's what we'll do. And then I try to hit review. That's it. That's it. And do you want to buy or not? Do I want it to execute during extended hours or not? And so it is so basic and rudimentary that I don't know if you're getting the best fill out there. I don't know if they're letting algos read your tape flow and front run you. I don't know who they're routing through. I don't know any of that. It's great that they're eating a lot of the costs, but oh man, you don't know where that trade is going and how it's working and a lot of that stuff. Some people don't care about that. That's fine, but as day traders, and especially the more experience you get and the more complex you want to get, this ain't it. And they get a C, and that's still being generous. And the C is really because it's easy to send an execution, and it's easy to trade on it. It's like 2 clicks of the mouse, and that's it. So that's nice, but whew. Customer support. All right, well, maybe if they're here for the people, they're here for you. They want to be here for the little man. They're going to have great customer support, right? They want to walk you through it. No. They have a good FAQ section. They try to give you some good walkthrough sections. They try their best to have these kind of little printouts and readouts that try to answer your questions before you have them and answer your questions for you, because if you continue to have an issue, if say you're stuck in a trade or you're getting some kind of issue and you don't know why, they have no phone line. You have to email them. You have to try your best to find the email through their website, and then who knows how long it's going to take. I tried to, because we haven't traded on this platform, I tried to look at some secondhand reports. I've seen some terrible reviews of their customer support lately. This is probably just because they blew up and got too popular too fast, but I've seen reports of essentially feeling like people are ignored. Terrible opinions that I've seen out there. I'm giving them a C-. They don't even have a phone service. And I don't know if this has ever happened. What if you buy a stock and it starts tanking and you can't get out? You're getting some kind of error or your web browser crashes or something, and you want to get out of that trade, but maybe your internet went down or something. Most platforms you can call and get that trade executed. You can't even do that here, so you're screwed. So, not my favorite. Definitely not good customer service. This is where we're stacking up right here now. If this looks a little brutal, it's because it is. I mean, this is not the best day traders platform. If a lot of the things I've talked about are not what you need and not what you care about, that's fine. All right, I'm not going to sit here and say you're crazy for trading on them. There are benefits to them, like I said, the friendliness to small accounts, the friendliness to new traders. So let's now take a moment and just go through the platform. I apologize it's taken this long, but I want to just kind of walk you through a little bit of the platform here, because this is it. This is the bread and butter here, and this is the platform. So, you type in a ticker like Apple or whatever, you pull that up, and, you can get a little about them, some very basic information, whatever. You see a couple news headlines, nothing too crazy here. And then, you get some analyst ratings. So, they try to give you at least a little bit of information to make you feel like you're at least trying to trade informed. People also own, so they're trying to help you with some of this stuff and trying to give you some of the most basic information. You can also go to the 100 most popular, see what some of the most commonly held stock by Robinhood traders are. It's kind of cool to see some of that stuff. You can get in here and change a portfolio, have a watch list, do things like that. So they have some of that kind of basic fundamental maneuverability that a trading platform would have, I suppose. You can get in here and change a lot of your stuff. You can go into your account and manipulate some settings. There's not that much because they're not going to give you that much. They're not going to give you that much in the way of settings if there's nothing really for you to customize or change. So but this is it. This is your platform right here, essentially. You can go into the options and choose the option you want based on the expiration and and the strike and whatever else and see what the pricing is. But what is this price? They give you the price here, but I don't see the bid and ask. I don't know what the spread is. I don't know a lot of this information. So it's just odd to me. So I want to show you more on the platform, but this is it. This is the platform, baby. And for some people, this is going to be enough. Maybe you're a new trader. Maybe this is the only platform you need. Maybe you're just swing trading with $200. Then you know what? That's fine, honestly. The only way I see this possibly being a worthwhile platform is if you want a cheap platform, if the cheapness, the ease of access, and ease of opening an account is the priority for you. If you want low fees and costs, don't plan on day trading, really crazy fast paced. Don't plan on trading too many stocks at once and trying to monitor all those positions. In fact, don't want to do anything fancy. No multi-tiered options positions and no short selling, things like that. You're just, say you're a new trader, you're just beginning. Maybe you just want to put $500 in an account and try some investing and swing trading. Then honestly, this is probably an okay platform for you to get started. You're only putting $500 in a platform, and you don't want to risk paying that and watching that slowly get eaten up by fees. Then honestly, this might be the platform for you, but it is as bare bones as it gets. So I would still recommend that you open up another platform, put like 2 cents in there, and then use that platform's features, and then maybe just maintain your money and your portfolio on this platform. The GME GameStop debacles really soured their rep. They are planning on IPOing and going public, so maybe they'll use that funds to improve their platform or change their functionality. I don't know. I believe they've always tried to give the stance that their mission is to be for the people and for the common trader, so maybe some improvements are coming. But, look, I'm not trying to bash on the users or bash on the platform itself, because for the everyday Wall Street Bets trader, the investor, someone who's just kind of in and out and not trying to trade 20 stocks at once and trying to day trade with speed and precision and routing, then this is probably for you. But, it's not going to be there for the professional trader that has all these strategies and all of these things. If you're a cost focused trader, and if you've got these things that you care about, and you've looked at this and you said, well, honestly, this is still ticking the checks in my box, that's perfectly fine. I will never tell someone how to trade or what to trade on, but I want to give people, what I feel is my impression of the market or the trading platform based on the style of trader that I am and the style of traders of other traders that I know, because I want people to walk away as informed as possible. Look, this is not the best day trading platform out there by far. It is one of the cheapest. It's one of the easiest to open and use. Your grandmother could probably open an account on here and start trading within a couple days. She'd figure it out. And so that's really good for them. And I can kind of see why the appeal of them blew up and how they became so popular so quickly. They obviously have a lot of controversy surrounding them. So, make sure that you do your homework here. Make sure this is the platform for you, that they offer the functions and features that you need. Make sure it's going to be easy to get your funds out and in. Make sure that this does what you want it to. And if not, that's perfectly fine. If you trade on this, that's perfectly fine. It's whatever makes you the better trader you want. Like I said, you could start in here, put a couple $100 in, maybe just try swing trading investing, and I think you'd be just fine. You can use multiple platforms at once. You can use another charting software. It doesn't matter. To each their own. But this was Robinhood Trading. I hope that this was helpful and informative. I'm going to end it there because we're already pushing into 30 minutes. So I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. Follow us on Twitter at /Vant Trading. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. I will see you next time. And as always, safe trading.